Hello XRP community. Welcome to this in-depth educational session on the evolving landscape of XRP and the recent developments in the cryptocurrency space. My name is Leo, and today, on November 13th, 2025, we'll explore the significance of the first US spot XRP ETF launch by Canary Capital, trading under the ticker XRPC on Nasdaq. As of this moment, XRP is trading at approximately $2.40, reflecting a modest 2% increase amid broader market dynamics. This video aims to provide a comprehensive analysis of current market trends, technical indicators, historical context, and long-term considerations for XRP, drawing from verified data and recent discussions on X. Please note that this content is for informational and educational purposes only. It is not financial advice. Always conduct your own research and consult with qualified professionals before making any investment decisions. To begin, let's contextualize today's milestone. Nasdaq has certified Canary Capital's spot XRP ETF as effective, allowing it to commence trading at the US market open. This represents a pivotal step in bridging traditional finance with digital assets, particularly for XRP, which has long been positioned as a facilitator for efficient cross-border payments through the XRP ledger. The ETF will hold actual XRP tokens, custodied by trusted entities such as Gemini Trust Company and BitGo Trust Company, and it will track the asset's price using the CoinDesk XRP CCIX benchmark. Early trading data indicates $58.5 million in turnover on Bloomberg terminals, signaling initial institutional interest. As at XRP update posted earlier today on X, with 63 likes and over 1,900 views, the Canary XRP ETF just posted 58,563,324 in turnover on Bloomberg, a major surge in trading activity for a newly listed product. Early demand continues to validate growing institutional interest around XRP. This post underscores the immediate market response, highlighting how such products can enhance liquidity and accessibility for investors who prefer regulated vehicles over direct crypto holdings. Expanding on the ETF structure, spot ETFs like XRPC differ from futures-based products by directly owning the underlying asset. This mechanism ensures that inflows translate into actual XRP purchases on the open market, potentially influencing supply dynamics over time. For instance, authorized participants, typically large financial institutions, create ETF shares by delivering XRP to the fund in exchange for ETF units. Conversely, redemptions involve returning XRP. In the initial phase, pre-seeding of the basket may delay visible price impacts, but as trading volumes build, this could lead to steady absorption of circulating supply. Current exchange balances for XRP stand at around 4.8 billion tokens per recent on-chain data from sources like Glassnode. With XRP's total circulating supply at 56 billion, even modest ETF inflows could represent a meaningful fraction of liquid supply. Historical parallels, such as the Bitcoin spot ETF launches in early 2024, saw cumulative inflows exceed $50 billion within the first year, contributing to sustained price appreciation. While XRP's market capitalization is currently about $135 billion, smaller than Bitcoin's, its unique utility in payment rails positions it for differentiated growth. Transitioning to technical analysis, XRP's chart on the weekly time frame reveals a symmetric triangle pattern with narrowing support and resistance levels. As noted by @DefendDark in a post garnering 1,557 likes and 56,000 views. On the weekly time frame, XRP is ready for a break. The support and resistance triangle has narrowed down, signaling an upcoming surge. Resistances: $2.85, supports $2.22, targets $18.22, $36.76, NFA. This formation, characterized by converging trend lines, often precedes volatility expansions, where price breaks either upward or downward based on prevailing momentum. Currently, the 200-day exponential moving average, EMA, provides support near $2.28, while the relative strength index, RSI, hovers at 47.69, neutral territory, neither overbought nor oversold. Per CoinCodex's November 13th update, a break above $2.52 could target $2.59 to $2.70 in the short term, aligning with CoinDesk's intraday breakdown. Conversely, a drop below $2.38 might test $2.33 to $2.27. These levels are derived from classical pivot points and recent volume profiles, emphasizing the importance of monitoring ETF-related flows for confirmation. Delving deeper into on-chain metrics, XRP's transaction volume has shown variability throughout 2025. Ripple's on-demand liquidity (ODL) service, which utilizes XRP for bridging currencies and cross-border transfers, reported $1.2 trillion in annualized volume for Q3 2025. This equates to over 12 times the circulating supply and turnover, demonstrating XRP's role in high-velocity financial operations. However, year-to-date stablecoin payment volumes have reached $19.4 billion, indicating competitive pressures from other assets. Whale activity presents a mixed picture. Large holders, wallets with 1 to 10 million XRP, accumulated 520 million tokens since November 1st, valued at roughly $1.25 billion at current prices, according to sentiment data. Yet, recent outflows to exchanges totaled 140 million XRP in the past week, suggesting some profit-taking ahead of the ETF launch. This whale-to-exchange flow could introduce short-term selling pressure, but it also reflects a maturation of the market, where sophisticated participants adjust positions based on catalysts, like today's news. Now let's examine the broader regulatory and adoption landscape. The U.S. Securities and Exchange Commission, SEC, provided comprehensive guidance on crypto asset exchange traded products, ETPs, in July 2025, paving the way for approvals like canaries. As of November 13th, 11 XRP ETF filings are listed on the Depository Trust and Clearing Corporation website, including those from Bitwise, Franklin Templeton, 21 Shares, and CoinShares. This pipeline suggests potential launches later this month, assuming no delays from the recent government funding extension to December 20th. Globally, XRP's integration with ISO 2022 standards, set for full compliance by G20 banks in 2026, positions it as a compliant bridge for legacy systems like SWIFT, which processes $150 trillion annually. Even a 1% migration could route $1.5 trillion through XRP corridors, enhancing its transactional efficiency at 1,500 transactions per second, TPS, far surpassing Bitcoin's 7 TPS or Ethereum's 15 TPS. To provide historical context, consider XRP's performance cycles. In 2017, it achieved over 300 times gains amid the ICO boom, peaking at $3.84 before retracing. The 2021 bull run saw it climb to $1.96, driven by DeFi hype and partial SEC clarity. Post the July 2023 court ruling favoring Ripple on non-security status for programmatic sales, XRP has consolidated between 50 cents and $3.40. Today's ETF debut echoes the Bitcoin ETF approvals, which preceded a 150% rally in early 2024. Analysts at Morningstar project the overall crypto market to grow at 10% annually through 2030, but XRP's utility could yield 20% compounded returns, per the Motley Fool's November 12th assessment, targeting $6 by 2030 from current levels, a 150% upside. Longer-term forecasts vary. ChatGPT models suggest $25 by 2030 and $500 by 2040 if XRP captures trillions in global payments, while the Crypto Basic explores scenarios where 5,000 XRP held for 30 years could appreciate based on infrastructure adoption. Addressing common market concerns, one frequent question is whether ETF launches guarantee price surges. Data from Bitcoin's rollout shows initial sell the news dips, followed by accumulation phases. XRP's open interest in futures has declined to recent lows, indicating reduced leverage and potentially lower volatility. Coinpedia's November 13th outlook describes a weekly bearish structure, with elevated market value to realized value (MVRV) ratios, suggesting a possible reset before uptrends. Yet, improved order book depth, tighter spreads, and better execution, per Kaiko's late 2024 to 2025 analysis, supports institutional entry. Another point, competition from stablecoins and rivals like Stellar, XLM. XRP differentiates through its escrow mechanism, 40 billion tokens locked, releasing 1 billion monthly, which provides a deflationary backstop against inflation. For educational illustration, consider hypothetical portfolio positioning. If an investor allocates to diversified assets, XRP's low correlation to equities, beta of 0.8 to the S&P 500, offers hedging potential. At $2.40, acquiring 2,500 XRP requires about $6,000. Under a conservative 20% annual growth to $6 by 2030, that stack would value at $15,000. More optimistic models, assuming 5% capture of SWIFT volumes, project higher multiples, but these are scenarios for study, not predictions. Tools like Fibonacci extensions from the 2023 low of $0.32 to the 2024 high of $3.40 yield the 1.618 level at $5.50 already tested and 2.618 at $13.20. Applying this to the ETF impulse from $2.31, the 3.618 extension aligns with midterm targets around $8 to $10, though current sentiment remains bearish per the Fear and Greed Index at 15. Extreme fear. Recent X discussions reflect this duality. Xrp Bullrunners HQ shared a video titled, Ripple, Yizho XRP, Holy Shut. He knows the XRP price surge date? Prepare now. Amassing 203 likes and 24,000 views, sparking conversations on timing catalysts. Similarly, a Digital G15 observed, the US spot XRP traded fund from Canary Capital has received regulatory approval. I suspect this is the time for short traders to capitulate, resulting in a huge surge in the underlying price of XRP. With 185 likes, this post captures optimism around short squeezes, given XRP's 5.6% daily jump contributing to a 13.3% weekly gain. On the cautious side, CoinTribune warns of a death cross pattern signaling potential correction to $1.90 to $2.20, emphasizing risk management above $2.38 for bullish theses. To extend our analysis, let's review Ripple's ecosystem partnerships. Over 300 financial institutions, including Santander and Standard Chartered, utilize RippleNet for remittances. The XRP ledger's recent upgrades, such as automated market makers, AMMs, introduced in 2024, have boosted DeFi activity, with total value locked, TVL, exceeding $500 million. This positions XRP not merely as a store of value, but as programmable money for micropayments and tokenized assets. Regulatory tailwinds under the Trump administration's Pro-Crypto Council further bolster this. Appointees advocate for clear frameworks, potentially accelerating ETF approvals. Brazil's recent ETF nod and Singapore's fintech embrace, highlighted at the 2025 Fintech Festival, demonstrate global momentum. In terms of risk factors, XRP's unresolved $50 million SEC settlement from May 2025 lingers as a compliance overhang, though it hasn't deterred filing's macro influences, like the US dollar index, DXY, at 105, suppress risk assets short-term, but XRP's decoupling, holding relative strength while Bitcoin tests $100,000, suggests resilience. Environmental considerations also play a role. XRP's proof of consensus uses 0.0079 kilowatt-hours per transaction, making it one of the greenest blockchains, appealing to ESG-focused funds. For viewers interested in self-study, resources like CoinMarketCap's XRP updates or Yahoo Finance's historical data provide verifiable datasets, track metrics such as daily active addresses, currently 50,000 plus, and hash rate stability for ongoing validation. In summary, the Canary XRP ETF launch on November 13, 2025, marks a maturation point for XRP, enhancing institutional access amid technical consolidation and on-chain accumulation. While short-term volatility persists, with supports at $2.22 to $2.38 and resistances at $2.85. Longer horizons favor utility-driven growth, potentially to $6 by 2030 under moderate scenarios. This analysis integrates real-time X insights, on-chain data, and market reports to foster informed dialogue. If you found this educational breakdown valuable, please like the video to support broader awareness. In the comments, share your thoughts on XRP's key support levels or favorite on-chain metric. Let's build a constructive conversation. Subscribe for more detailed crypto ecosystem explorations and share this with fellow learners in the space. Thank you for joining. Continue researching diligently. Leo signing off.